Have you ever wondered what your mind does when the world finally grows quiet? Not your thoughts, not your worries, but the deeper part of you, the part that watches, remembers, and feels things long before you understand why. That's where we're going tonight, into the soft, hidden machinery of the mind, into the tiny psychological truths that shape your days and drift quietly through your nights. Hello, and welcome to Sleep Quotes Lab. I'm really glad you're here tonight. Let this be your quiet moment to unwind. Wherever you are, slow your breathing, soften the sounds around you, and let your thoughts float down like leaves on a still pond. If these peaceful stories bring you a little comfort tonight, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It quietly helps more sleepy souls find their way here, and it truly means the world to us. Tonight, we'll explore the quiet habits of the mind, how memory moves like a tide, how the senses whisper in the background, and how thoughts shift their shape when the world calms down. Some of these discoveries will feel familiar, the kind of truth you've always sensed but never named. Others may surprise you, revealing hidden corners of psychology that are softer, stranger, and more beautiful than they sound. And you don't have to remember any of it. This is a place for drifting, for letting ideas pass through you like gentle breezes on the edge of sleep. So take a slow breath, let the body grow heavy, and allow the first small truth of the night to emerge. Your mind can imagine pain you've never felt, all through empathy. Watching someone stub a toe, cut a finger, or flinch in discomfort can make you wince. This isn't weakness, it's empathy woven into the nervous system. Your brain activates some of the same regions that process your own pain, creating a soft echo of the other person's experience. This instinct helped humans survive, learning danger secondhand instead of through injury. Even now, just seeing someone tense can stir a quiet echo inside you. That softness, that sensitivity, is a sign of a deeply connected mind. Without sleep, the brain struggles to form new memories. There's a reason a good night's rest feels like wiping the mental lens clean. During deep sleep, the hippocampus, the brain's memory librarian, files away the day's events and prepares space for tomorrow's learning. When sleep is missing, new experiences slip through like water through open fingers. It's not just tiredness, it's a temporary block in the brain's ability to store meaning. Right now, as your body softens into rest, your brain is preparing its shelves, making space, ready to hold tomorrow gently. The mind often believes what it hears repeatedly, even if it isn't true. Repetition builds a sense of familiarity, and familiarity feels like truth. This is called the illusory truth effect, and it shows how deeply the mind values patterns. It doesn't mean you're gullible. It simply means the brain uses repetition as a shortcut to decide what's safe, what's known, what's trustworthy. Tonight, the only ideas entering your mind are soft ones that ease the nervous system and guide you toward rest. Let repetition be a comfort, a slow rhythm, a quiet wave. Your brain processes faces differently from everything else. Faces are so important that the brain has dedicated circuitry just for recognizing them. A face you love is recognized faster than a name, a place, or an object. This specialization helped humans understand emotion, sense danger, build families, and form communities. Even now, your mind is tuned to read the smallest micro-expression, a flicker of surprise, a gentle smile, a hint of sadness. Connection is built into your biology. It's part of why you care so deeply. Looking forward to something can be sweeter than the moment itself. Anticipation stretches joy across time. Thinking about an upcoming trip, a meeting, a celebration, or even a simple plan lights up regions of the brain linked to motivation and pleasure. Sometimes the imagined version is brighter, warmer, and more magical than reality, and that's okay. Anticipation is not a mistake, it's a gift. It lets your mind create a gentle future to walk toward, like a small lantern in the dark. Even now, as you settle into rest, you can imagine the soft things waiting for you tomorrow. Let that imagined warmth carry you a little deeper into comfort. Late at night, honesty often becomes easier. As the hours stretch on and the day finally loosens its grip, something subtle happens inside the mind. The filters you carry, the social masks, the careful phrasing, the tiny second thoughts that shape every conversation, all grow just a little softer. Fatigue quiets the inner editor. The dimmer lighting wraps the world in gentleness, and the silence of night removes the pressure to perform. In this softer landscape, words slip out more easily, thoughts feel less guarded, and the things you've tucked away all day begin to step forward, as if the mind finally feels safe enough to tell the truth it was holding. It doesn't mean every late-night confession is perfect or complete, but it does mean the mind becomes just a little more open, a little more willing to set down its armor and show its quieter, truer side. If you've ever found yourself talking more freely at midnight, or opening up in a way daylight never allowed, that is your psychology at work, doing what it does best. Softening when the world softens. When you split your attention, memory thins like fog. The mind loves shortcuts. It also needs focus to remember clearly. When you try to do everything at once, answering messages while cooking, listening to a friend while checking notifications, the brain parcels its attention into smaller, weaker threads. Each fragment collects less detail. Memories become sketchy. Colors blur. Names slip away. The order of events drifts. Over time, habitual multitasking trains the brain to favor breadth over depth. It learns to skim rather than to sink in. There's a gentler way, though. When you let one thing keep your attention, when you chew slowly, listen fully, or watch someone's face without glancing away, experience settles into place. Details sharpen. The moment becomes a richer memory. Tonight, imagine doing one small thing slowly. Feel how the world brightens when you give it your whole attention. Let that warmth settle into your chest as you breathe out. A hand on your shoulder can change how pain speaks to you. Touch is more than comfort. It's a conversation between bodies. A warm hand, a steady palm, a squeeze of fingers. These simple gestures send competing signals to the nervous system. They vie with pain signals and often win some of the brain's attention. Touch also nudges chemistry. Oxytocin rises, stress softens, and the rhythm of your breathing slows. In studies, people who held a loved one's hand during discomfort reported less pain. Their brain activity even began to align in subtle ways. Think of touch as a small shield, not removing pain entirely, but changing its shape. If you've ever been soothed by a hug, you've felt this trade. Physical contact translating into safety. Right now, place one hand over your heart. Feel the quiet pressure, the warmth, the steady beat beneath. Let it remind you that the body remembers comfort. Smell steers choices long before words do. Scent travels on a privileged path straight into the brain's emotional center. That's why a whiff of coffee can fold you into a morning memory, or why a faint perfume can resurface a face from your past. Because smell bypasses the usual filters, it can nudge moods and decisions without an announcement. Stores use subtle aromas to make spaces feel inviting. A citrus note may lift energy, while lavender invites calm. These cues don't shout, they whisper, and the mind often obeys without asking why. Tonight, recall a smell that makes you feel safe. Hold that image as you breathe in and out. Notice how your body shifts even as the mind simply recalls. Belief can feel like rest, even when the sleep wasn't perfect. There's a curious thing called placebo sleep. If you believe you slept well, some of your performance and mood the next day will follow that belief, whether your night was truly restorative or not. Expectation is powerful. The brain uses stories about sleep, food, or healing to adjust energy, focus, and resilience. This isn't a trick to replace real rest. Real sleep is essential. But it is a reminder. The narratives you tell yourself shape how your body responds. As you lie here, try a small, gentle affirmation. I rested as much as I needed. Say it silently once or twice. Let the thought ease tension in your shoulders. The mind notices these quiet reassurances. Somewhere between shadow and sight, you sense someone watching. You may have felt it, the prickling certainty that someone is looking when you were certain none could be. Science suggests our brains are tuned to social attention. Tiny shifts, a shadow, a sound, a change in peripheral movement can trigger an ancient alarm. This sensitivity grew because it mattered. Knowing when another gaze found you could mean danger or alliance. Today, it still nudges behavior, often before words arrive. If you feel observed and it unsettles you, try grounding. Press your feet to the floor in the dark. Notice the rhythm of your breath, and remind yourself the present is here, safe and ordinary. The body can outlast a startled thought. A quiet reminder. The mind prefers patterns and stories. Between these facts, attention, touch, scent, belief, and social sensing, one thread runs clear. The mind organizes experience into meaning. It prefers continuity, fills gaps, and protects what matters. So tonight, as images drift past, allow your mind to rest in that gentle ordering. You don't need to hold every fact. Let the ideas rise and fall like soft tides, carrying a few warm stones of insight ashore. When you're ready, Breathe slow again. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for a beat. Exhale for 6. Feel the mind soften as your body follows. A single scent can open a door you forgot existed. Of all the senses, smell is the one most directly wired into the brain's memory chambers. It doesn't pause for logic or language. It simply arrives, and with it, entire scenes from the past. A hint of rain on warm pavement, and suddenly you're standing in a childhood street. A familiar perfume, and a face from years ago softens into view. A certain meal cooking, and you're pulled gently back to a kitchen filled with laughter. These memories often return with startling vividness. The colors, the emotions, the warmth. They aren't just recollections, they're re-experiences. As though the mind kept them wrapped in a box labeled for when you need comfort. Let your mind drift to a scent that means something to you. Notice how, without effort, the memory blooms. In dreams where you know you're dreaming, you become both traveler and creator. Lucid dreaming is one of the mind's most magical moments, that quiet instant when awareness flickers on inside the dream. Suddenly, the impossible becomes flexible. People fly, oceans turn to glass, mountains bend into stairways. Scientists believe this happens when the brain regions responsible for self-awareness wake up while the rest of the dream continues. Some people train for it, checking clocks, keeping dream journals. Others slip into it naturally, like stepping into a familiar tide. The beauty of lucid dreams isn't just control. It's the reminder that your mind can build entire worlds from silence and darkness. Real worlds with sound, light, emotion, and logic. Tonight, if your sleep deepens, you might wander into a dream of your own shaping. If you do, let yourself explore it gently, like a guest in your own imagination. Unfinished tasks echo louder in the mind than the ones we complete. There's a quiet tension that forms when something is left undone. A message unsent, a task half finished, a conversation unresolved. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. The mind doesn't like open loops. It keeps nudging, whispering, replaying. Sometimes this helps, reminding us to return to what matters. Other times, it follows us into bed, humming around the edges of sleep. But here's the soothing part. Writing a task down, simply acknowledging it, often releases the mind from holding it. It's like gently placing the thought on a shelf instead of carrying it in your hands. If any lingering tasks tug at you in this moment, imagine setting them down beside you. Tell your mind you'll return to them tomorrow with clearer eyes. Gratitude is a soft medicine that changes the chemistry of the body. When you focus on something you appreciate, even something small, the brain shifts gears. Stress hormones ease, heart rhythm slows, calm rises like warm water spreading through your chest. This isn't poetic exaggeration, it's biological. Gratitude activates networks linked to empathy, joy, and emotional regulation. It helps the nervous system settle, making sleep deeper and more restorative. Right now, Try holding one quiet thought of gratitude. Not something grand, something simple. A warm blanket, a comforting voice, a moment of safety. Feel how the body responds almost instantly. Your body speaks your emotions before you do. The language of posture and expression often reveals feelings long before the mind names them. A tightening jaw, a shift of shoulders, arms crossed unconsciously. These tiny gestures often whisper truths we're not yet ready to say. Others can sometimes read these signs before we do, and if we pause and notice our own posture, we too can hear what the body is trying to communicate. Try this right now. Loosen your shoulders, unclench your jaw, soften your brow. Feel how your inner state changes, just a little, as if the body has been waiting for permission to exhale. Tonight's quiet truth: your mind is always trying to care for you. Through scents that protect memories, dreams that reshape worlds, unfinished thoughts asking for closure, moments of gratitude soothing the heart, postures revealing the feelings you haven't spoken. The mind is not working against you. It's constantly trying to guide, comfort, and protect you, even in the silence before sleep. Let your breath fall into an easy rhythm again. Each inhale soft, each exhale a little slower. This next part of our journey explores the subtle signals your mind sends, the whispers, the instincts, and the invisible cues that move beneath awareness. This is where psychology feels closest to magic. Some memories return only when a sound calls them back. Music doesn't just fill the air, it travels deeper. A song from years ago can open a whole memory like a door. The room you were in, the emotions in your chest, the people who stood beside you. This happens because music lights up several areas of the brain at once: emotion, movement, memory, binding them together like threads in a tapestry. For some people, even those with memory loss, a familiar melody can pull a forgotten moment back into clarity. If a song has ever carried you back in time, that was your brain quietly protecting something precious. Hope can help the body heal in ways science is still uncovering. Optimism isn't about forcing happiness. It's a biological shift, a belief that tomorrow holds possibility. People who feel hopeful often recover faster from illness, not because hope replaces treatment, but because it changes how the nervous system responds. Stress softens, the heart steadies, the immune system strengthens its rhythm. Hope is not a cure, but it is a companion, a gentle force that tilts the odds toward healing. Tonight, even a small thought of, maybe things will be okay, can ripple through the body in ways you may not feel, but your cells will. Stories about people stay in the mind longer than neutral facts. Gossip, whether kind or unkind, leaves deeper mental footprints than bland information. This instinct dates back to a time when knowing who to trust, who might help, and who might harm was essential for survival. We're wired to remember the behavior of others, not because we're nosy by nature, but because social awareness kept our ancestors safe. Today, this same wiring shapes how rumors spread, why certain stories linger, and why emotional information stays bright in memory. It's simply part of being human. Our minds are tuned to connection. That strange moment of déjà vu is your brain misreading its own signals. You felt it before, that eerie rush of familiarity when everything feels like it has already happened. One idea scientists explore is that déjà vu appears when the brain's recognition system fires by mistake. A new moment triggering old neural patterns even when no real memory exists. It's like a tiny echo in the machinery of memory, not a warning, not a message, just a brief flash showing how complex and delicate recognition truly is. Déjà vu reminds us that the mind is not a camera. It is an artist, blending past and present in ways we rarely notice. When anxiety rises, speech speeds up, as if the mind is trying to outrun itself. Nervousness fuels the body with adrenaline. The heart beats faster, breath quickens, thoughts rush ahead. Speech tries to keep up. Sentences spill out quickly, pauses shrink, words tumble together. It's not a flaw, it's biology. It's the body preparing for action. The comforting part? Slowing your voice can calm your body, and calming your body can settle your thoughts. The mind and body speak to each other constantly, and they listen closely. Try softening your voice, even in your thoughts. Feel how the body responds. And beyond all of this, vast parts of the mind remain uncharted. Neuroscience advances every year, yet so much of the brain remains mysterious. How consciousness forms, how imagination takes shape, why certain memories glow while others fade. For every answer we discover, 10 new questions appear. You carry a universe inside your skull more complex than galaxies, more dynamic than storms, and more mysterious than anything we've ever built. You don't need to solve it tonight. Just know that the mystery itself is part of your quiet beauty. Yawns can ripple through a room like an invisible thread. One person yawns, and suddenly others follow. Not because they're tired at the same moment, but because yawning is tied to empathy and connection. Even animals, dogs, chimps, birds, catch yawns from those they trust. Your mind mirrors the states of the people you care about, sometimes without you noticing. A shared yawn is like a whisper saying, "We're connected. We're here together." It's a small reminder that humans are built to sync, even in the quietest ways. Under deep focus, time bends without warning. There are moments when you become so absorbed in painting, studying, reading, building, that the world outside seems to blur at the edges. Hours pass like minutes. This is the flow state, a mental space where action feels effortless and your awareness merges with what you're doing. It's not just concentration. It's the brain letting go of self-consciousness and slipping into a deeper rhythm. In flow, time loosens its grip, and afterward, you feel lighter, as though the world briefly stopped needing anything from you. Your brain can grow new pathways whenever you learn. Every new skill, stirring a recipe, practicing a language, trying a different method, memorizing a pattern, reshapes the brain at a physical level. Neurons reach out, form new bridges, strengthen old ones, and carve fresh trails through the mind's landscape. This adaptability, called neuroplasticity isn't reserved for childhood. It continues your whole life. Your mind is never stuck. It is always capable of shifting, learning, rewriting itself with every experience, every curiosity, every attempt. Even listening to this right now, you are changing. The world you see is shaped by your mood. A happy mind notices more color. A worried mind narrows its focus, searching for threats. A calm mind widens its view like an opening window. Emotions act like invisible filters, tinting what the eyes take in. A sunset seems brighter when you feel hopeful. A room seems colder when you feel lonely. The world doesn't change. Your perception does. This is one of the quiet powers of awareness. If you shift your inner state even slightly, the world reflects that shift back to you. You don't have to force it. Just breathe and let softness inside create softness outside. When you're the only one who sees someone in need, you're more likely to help. It sounds backward, but psychology shows it clearly. When many people witness something, everyone assumes someone else will act. But when you're alone, your sense of responsibility becomes sharper, more personal, more real. It's one of the mind's simplest truths. Care often blooms in quiet spaces, where you feel the weight of your own choices without distraction. You are more compassionate than you think, especially when no one is watching. Stress can spread silently, but so can calm. When someone nearby is anxious, your body can sense it. Through tone, posture, tiny changes in movement, even subtle chemical signals released in sweat. Your nervous system mirrors theirs, preparing for danger. But this mirroring works in the opposite direction too. A calm presence can settle others. A steady breath can soothe a room. A gentle voice can ease tension like warm water. Warm memories can literally make your body feel warmer. Nostalgia isn't just a feeling, it's a physical shift. When you think of a cherished moment, a childhood holiday, a familiar voice, a small victory, a place that felt safe, your body reacts. Heart rate softens, muscles loosen, and remarkably, your sense of physical warmth increases. The mind links emotional warmth and physical warmth because long ago, safety meant closeness, sharing fire, shelter, and comfort. Even now, a memory can act like a blanket wrapped gently around the nervous system. If you'd like, you can call forward one soft memory. Feel how the body responds. Fear can spread through observation alone. You don't need danger to feel afraid. Sometimes the mind learns through watching. Seeing someone else react, a flinch, a gasp, a moment of tension, triggers mirror systems in the brain, preparing you to protect yourself even before you understand why. This instinct kept our ancestors safe. Fear passed quickly through a group like a signal fire. But the reverse is also true. Calm can spread quietly from one person to another, softening the air like a slow exhale. Right now, your calm is part of the quiet in this room. Authority can sway behavior more than we realize. Studies have shown that people often follow instructions from someone they see as an authority, even when those instructions feel uncomfortable. This instinct comes from older survival patterns, trusting leaders, following experts, and relying on the group for safety. It doesn't mean we lack judgment. It simply shows how strongly the mind values belonging, structure, and direction. Awareness of this influence helps us reclaim choice, even when the world feels loud or demanding. Tonight, the only voice you need to follow is the one that leads you toward rest. Your peripheral vision is always watching for movement. Even when you're relaxed, your eyes stay alert at the edges. Peripheral vision is wired for survival, sensitive to motion, shadows, the slightest change in light. It's why you notice something flicker in the corner of your eye before you understand what it is. This silent vigilance protected humans for millennia. Today, it simply reminds us how deeply the mind is shaped by instinct. As you lie here now, in a safe place, you can let that instinct rest. Your body knows you're protected. Your mind can let go. Writing by hand engages the brain differently than typing. Deeper, slower, richer. When you write with a pen, your brain lights up in areas tied to movement, memory, and attention. Each stroke forces your thoughts to slow down and take shape. This deeper processing makes memory stronger, ideas clearer, and emotions easier to sort. Writing is not just communication, it's a gentle form of self-care, a way to give thoughts space to breathe and unfold. Even the quiet act of imagining writing can bring a sense of order. If your mind feels cluttered, picture placing your thoughts onto a page. Let them find their own shape. Smiling can lift your mood even before you feel happy. A small, soft smile, even one you don't entirely feel, sends signals back to the brain that things are safe, gentle, and okay. The brain interprets the expression as a sign of safety, and emotional tension begins to unwind. Some people practice soft smiling during meditation, a tiny upward curve, barely noticeable. It's not about pretending, it's about giving the brain a quiet cue. You can rest now. If you want to try it, let your lips rise a millimeter. Feel what changes. Your brain forms impressions of faces in less than a blink. Before you consciously think, before words appear, before logic steps in, your mind has already made a quick evaluation. In under 1/10 of a second, the brain decides whether a face feels trustworthy, familiar, kind, distant. This comes from ancient instincts, when recognizing a friend or a threat in the blink of an eye was essential for survival. Today, it's simply a reminder that a part of you is always paying attention, quietly sorting the world long before you realize it. You don't have to judge this process. Just know it's happening gently, automatically, as part of being human. Eyes, even printed ones, can make us act more honestly. Psychologists have found something surprising. When people see an image of watching eyes, even stylized or symbolic ones, they often behave more kindly, more generously, more ethically. Because deep in the mind, being watched meant accountability. It meant belonging. It meant survival within a community. Our brains carry those ancient rules, quietly nudging us toward goodness when we feel seen. You don't need eyes on you now. This is your private moment of rest. But it's comforting to know that humans are wired to be better when connected. You are far more unnoticed than you think. The spotlight effect makes us believe everyone is paying attention to our small mistakes, our appearance, our choices. But the truth is simple and freeing. people are mostly thinking about themselves, their own worries, their own stories. Your slip-ups fade from others' memories almost instantly. You carry far more pressure on yourself than anyone else does. Let that pressure soften. Let the mind unclench. You are not being judged tonight. You are allowed to rest. Even knowing a treatment is fake, the mind can still heal from it. The placebo effect is powerful, but the open-label placebo effect is even more astonishing. People can know they're taking something with no active ingredient, and their bodies still respond. Breathing steadier, pain easing, mood lifting. Why? Because belief itself triggers the brain's own healing systems. Expectation becomes medicine. Hope becomes chemistry. It's a quiet reminder that the mind and body are not separate. They lean on each other in every moment. Feelings last longer in memory than details. Think back to important days of your life. You may not remember the exact words, the sequence, the surroundings, but you remember the feeling. Joy, fear, love, loss, excitement, wonder. The mind stores emotions as anchors for memory because feelings guide us more powerfully than facts. Tonight, let the mind drift toward feelings of safety, warmth, calm. Let the details fade away. Forgetting is not a flaw. It's part of how the mind stays healthy. The brain lets go of things to make space for what matters. Forgetting helps you adapt, helps you focus, helps you move forward. It's not a weakness, it's pruning, like trimming old branches so new ones can grow. Right now, you don't need to remember every thought, every worry, every expectation. Let the mind practice forgetting just for tonight. Let it loosen its hold and grow lighter. Even your sense of up and down is something the brain can rewrite. In classic experiments, people wore glasses that flipped the world upside down. At first, it was disorienting, but after a few days, the brain adapted. The world felt normal again, even though the image entering the eyes was reversed. When the glasses were removed, the world felt flipped again, and once more, the brain adjusted. This shows that perception is not fixed. It is flexible, fluid, alive. Just like you. Your mind can adapt to new realities, new challenges, new beginnings. Gently, and with time. Optical illusions reveal how much of reality the mind invents. When you look at an illusion, a line that seems to bend, a shape that looks like it's moving, an image that shifts depending on how you see it, you're experiencing something important. Your mind isn't recording reality, it's interpreting it. It fills in gaps, smooths edges, predicts what should be there even before checking. Illusions expose this creative process, revealing that your vision is a blend of sensory input and the brain's best guesses. It's not a flaw, it's efficiency. It's your mind helping you navigate the world with speed and clarity. And tonight, as your eyes grow heavy, you can give that interpreting mind permission to rest. It doesn't need to solve or predict anything now. Laughter changes the chemistry of the brain. When you laugh, even a tiny smile turning into soft amusement, your brain releases endorphins, natural chemicals that ease stress and encourage resilience. Shared laughter is even stronger. It connects people, builds trust, and tells the nervous system, "You're safe here." Laughter isn't just joy, it's medicine. A small resilience training session for the emotional body. Even thinking about something funny can soften tension in the chest, slow the breath, and bring warmth to the mind. If you've laughed today, even once, your brain has already done something kind for you. Your brain has a special network dedicated to recognizing faces. Deep in the temporal lobe sits an area designed almost entirely to process faces. It can recognize someone you love in less than a second. It notices tiny shifts in expression, flickers of emotion, silent signals of connection. Even small damage to this network can make faces unrecognizable, a condition called face blindness. This tells us something profound. The mind is built for connection, built to recognize others, built to find familiarity in the world. The architecture of your brain carries the blueprint of human connection. Even now, as you drift towards sleep, that part of you remains peaceful, quietly at rest. Meditation leaves physical marks on the brain, real, visible changes. Long-term meditators show thicker regions in the brain areas tied to attention, decision-making, memory, and emotional balance. Even short daily sessions can begin to reshape neural pathways, like smoothing stones in a river. Meditation quiets the amygdala, the part of the brain that processes fear. It strengthens the prefrontal cortex, which guides calm and clarity. You don't need to sit on a cushion or follow a ritual. Just breathing slowly, with gentle awareness, is enough to begin this shift. Right now, you are already in a state the brain recognizes as rest and repair. In less than a blink, your brain forms an opinion of a face. Trustworthy, uncertain, familiar, kind. This rapid judgment comes from ancient instincts that once protected us from danger. But the beauty of the mind is that it can revise, update, and deepen its understanding as it learns more. Your first impression is only a sketch. Your heart fills in the rest. And tonight, your mind doesn't need to judge anything at all. It can simply soften into stillness. A scent can shift your mood without you noticing. Smell travels straight to the emotional centers of the brain, bypassing the logical layers. This is why a hint of lavender can calm you, why citrus wakes you up, why a familiar fragrance can make you feel suddenly safe. Even now, if there's a faint aroma in your room, clean sheets, cool air, soft perfume, your mind is responding quietly, gently adjusting your mood toward rest. Scent works like a whisper, soft, effortless, almost invisible. Sounds shape your body's reactions before you think. A soothing melody slows the breath. A sudden noise tightens the muscles. A steady rhythm can lull the mind into drifting. Sound goes deeper than hearing. It moves through the nervous system. This is why certain tones feel comforting, why soft voices ease tension, why a steady hum can rock you toward sleep like a distant lullaby. Let the sound of this moment, the stillness, the softness, wrap around you like warm air. Solitude unlocks a different kind of thinking. When you're alone with a problem, your mind shifts inward. It wanders more freely, explores more deeply, connects ideas without the weight of other people's opinions. This inward focus creates a unique clarity, not loud, but steady. It's the kind of thinking that arrives late at night, just before sleep, when the world is quiet enough for your inner voice to speak. Tonight, let that inner voice whisper softly, not to solve anything, but simply to rest. Emotion is the glue that holds your memories. You remember the moments that moved you, the ones that made you laugh, cry, shake, or breathe a little deeper. Emotion tells the brain, "This matters. Keep this." It's why certain days stay vivid while others fade gently into the background. Your mind is not a perfect recorder. It is a storyteller, and every story it keeps is shaped by feeling. Tonight, you don't need to recall anything. Let emotion fade into calm. Mirroring others builds instant trust, a quiet alignment of bodies and minds. When two people sync their gestures, a tilt of the head, a softened posture, a shared rhythm, their nervous systems resonate. This mirroring happens naturally, without effort, like two candles flickering in the same breeze. It creates connection, even between strangers. But right now, the only rhythm you need to match is your own gentle breathing. In and out, your mind syncing with the softness of your body. Your brain is always rewriting itself, even now. Every new thought, every sensation, every breath tunes the brain's pathways like strings on an instrument. Your mind is not fixed. It is always adapting, reshaping, softening. Even listening to a calm voice in the dark is enough to create new patterns, ones that help you rest more easily, breathe more deeply, sleep more peacefully. You are changing even in stillness. Time bends when emotions run deep. Moments of awe stretch into eternity. Moments of joy vanish quickly. Moments of fear slow the world into slow motion. Time lives inside the mind. It is elastic, personal, alive. Tonight, let time melt away entirely. Let this moment be the only moment, soft and unhurried. The mind holds mysteries we haven't yet touched. For all we understand, memory, emotion, perception, there are deeper layers still unseen. Consciousness, self-awareness, dreams, imagination. These remain vast oceans with distant horizons. But you don't need answers tonight. Mystery is soothing. Mystery is gentle. Mystery is enough. Your mind is a universe that cradles you even as you sleep. Before you drift away, take one last gentle breath. Not deep, not forced, just easy. You've traveled through so many soft corners of the mind tonight. You've wandered through memory, emotion, instinct, and imagination. You've listened to the quiet truths your brain carries beneath everything you do. And you stayed with me all the way to this final moment. Thank you for that, truly. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this time, for choosing a space that honors your rest. You deserve to feel peaceful. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to end this day with softness in your chest and calm in your thoughts. If your eyes are still open, you don't need to close them. They'll close on their own when they're ready. If your thoughts are still moving, you don't need to silence them. They'll quiet down naturally as your body settles. Just let this be enough. Let this moment be a gentle landing after a long day. And know this before sleep arrives. You are not behind. You are not alone. You are not expected to be anything other than here, breathing, resting, existing softly. The night is holding you. Your mind is unwinding. Your body is surrendering its weight to the warmth beneath you. Everything is okay. And now, as you drift into dreams, slowly, lightly, effortlessly, I wish you a peaceful night, a quiet mind, and a heart that feels safe. Sleep well. I wish you deep, healing sleep, a quiet mind, calm dreams, and gentle breathing. I wish comfort to your body, warmth to your heart, and peace to your thoughts. I wish freedom from stress, softness in every muscle, and rest that reaches your bones. I wish stillness in your spirit, a night free of worries, and a slow, steady heartbeat. I wish your mind to drift like a cloud, your dreams to feel safe, and your tension to melt away. I wish you the sense of being held by the night and the comfort of knowing you've done enough. I wish your day to end softly and tomorrow to begin with ease. I wish soothing dreams, a night wrapped in peace, and a body that relaxes fully. I wish your thoughts to fade like whispers, and your rest to feel sweet and deep. I wish you the calm of slow waves, sleep that comes naturally, and hours without rushing thoughts. I wish comfort from head to toe, the soft silence of midnight, and the stillness your heart needs. I wish you the peace your mind deserves, the softness your soul longs for, and dreams that refresh you. I wish you a night that heals, a pillow that holds you gently, and rest that feels like floating. I wish for sleep that renews your whole being, quiet joy in the dark, and the safety of a calm night. I wish your thoughts to settle like snow, your mind to let go with ease, and the peace of a star-filled sky. I wish you warmth, clarity in your dreams, and sleep that carries you kindly through the night. And I wish, above all, that you wake with a light heart, a clear mind, and a body fully refreshed.